In this episode, the Rat Rod Radio Flyer finally gets some paint. Hey, welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you're one of my faithful subscribers. If this is your first time, my name is Grant Tommy. This is my channel, Straight Six Fan, where I like to focus on budget-minded, creative, relatable builds, a little something I like to call offbeat hot rodding. But we are back on the Rat Rod Radio Flyer today, and let me bring you up to speed on where we lie there. Alright, so Monday I got the thing disassembled, took the body off the chassis to start prepping it for paint. Did a little bit of grinding on some of the worst nasty welds some other night this week. Didn't get a whole lot done. I really hoped by the time I turned on the camera today it would have already been painted, but it's not. Saturday, our plans kind of got flipped upside down, and I really didn't even get started on that until 9 p.m. last night. I hoped at the very least it would have been in primer, but the reality of the situation was I still had some detail work to do. I made some patch panels on the frame rails because I figure if I'm going to paint this thing, I don't want little nooks and crannies that dirt can get into. And ironically, yes, I'm trying to prevent rust now. No, but we'll keep the rat rod look with the body. Good news is my wife and I, we went to Saturday night church services, so it is only 9:30 in the morning here on Sunday, so I do have a pretty full day ahead of me. Now, I don't think I will be able to do anything. I'll be lucky, I think, to get it prepped the rest of the way, primed, painted, let it dry, and reassembled. I was really wanting to do steering work, but I also had to shut it down last night a little, you know, as I was working until 12:20 in the morning. Couldn't be operating the flap disc, so I got some more aggressive areas I need to hit real fast with the flap disc. Then it's going to be one last pass with the steel wool, blow dry it off with some air, and then hit it with acetone, mask some stuff off, and then we'll be spraying some primer. But let's get to work. After a little more thought, I went a little higher with the chassis and turned it on its side here. That way I can spray top and bottom just as easy. Okay, so the good news is the primer set up really fast, so we're gonna go ahead and slap on some satin black now, and who knows, maybe I actually will be able to dork around a little bit with the steering today, but that remains to be seen. We'll just, I got at least 2 coats to spray on this thing, so we'll just see how that goes. Alright, so we've stopped here right at noon. Got that first coat of paint on the chassis. Time for some lunch. I'm grilling some chicken today, so after I eat, I'll do a second coat, let it dry, and when I'm letting that dry, we'll be assembling the torque converter fully. So while I may not get any steering done today, I will have everything set up ready to go to work on steering for the next time out. Hopefully. We'll see. Okay, so I got the torque converter on the rest of the way, which feels awesome. I decided not to do a how-to for any reason, because Redbeard's Garage has a great how-to on that. In fact, that's what I watched to make sure I didn't screw it up. So second coat of paint is on the frame. I'm gonna go out to check, see if it's dry yet, and we might be able to start reassembly. It's only like 1:45 here on Sunday, so heck, I might actually be able to get some of the steering worked out. But real quick, when I bought the torque converter, that episode, Moslak, I hope I'm saying his name right, he'd asked what the difference is between a torque converter and a centrifugal clutch. And as you can see, with the two pulley system here, what happens is this one, so when you start out, it's like acts like a small to big pulley drive setup, and as you accelerate, this guy squeezes in, which then makes it more like a larger diameter pulley, and this pulley spreads out and the belt sinks in, and so that's how you get your variable speed out of it. So you get good acceleration out of the gate, and then you don't lose any top end. Okay, so we are back in the shop, and I gotta say, for the most part, I am pretty happy with the way this turned out. Now, a couple things I need to touch up. Well, first off, there's touch-ups to be expected, but I tried masking out each of my TIG weld patterns, you know, up here on the I-beam, but nothing was really sticking, so I just decided I'd paint them, and then I'd come back with my deburring tool and polish those out again, because I want that silver contrast against the satin black. Another thing is this side, I guess we'll call it passenger side, is, if you remember from way back when, right before I took the front axle came off, last times I was driving, I was throwing chains way too crazy. So this drive chain side is going to be broken to 2 chains now. So I'd cut off my previous chain tensioner on this side, so there's definitely going to be some stuff that I re-weld on this side, but I really couldn't put that together until I had the steering done, and I really couldn't paint the chassis if the steering was on. So there's also going to be a couple places back here that I weld it, and I'll have to repaint there. But anyway, like I said, I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. So I've got the body back on, it's reassembled. However, I'm going to show you an example of why touch-up painting is just going to be unavoidable. So, last night I had welded in this loop to be a steering shaft sort of support or just safety strap kind of thing. However, now that I'm putting the steering shaft back in, let me show you what I'm running into. Okay, so if I try to install this from the top side, this is as far as back as I can go, but I can't, the U-joint, I can't get the angle I need to start to flatten out in time to make it through that strap. Okay, so if I go in the reverse order, send this through as far as I can, the U-joint gets hung up on that strap, and I can't get this side, I can't get far enough forward to then come back up. So I'm going to have to cut out the loop on one side, bend it down, we'll get the steering shaft in, then we'll weld it back up. Okay, so I got the loop underneath welded that I was telling you about. Steering shaft obviously is in. The last objective here is to get the pitman arm welded back onto the shaft, and I think we're going to call it a day. It's about 3:15 right now. I got a bunch of a mess to pick up, but yeah, I'm going to get this guy welded on, TIG welded on, and call it a day. Obviously I wished on this Sunday I would have got my spindles hooked up to this. I guess that'll just have to be for next time. But honestly, as I fell behind schedule through the week, like, I feel pretty good about this. I'm like 3/4 of a step behind where I wanted to be, not like 2 or 3. So I will get this tack welded, and then we will finish welding it, and then we'll close this thing out. Well guys, I think that's going to do it for this episode. I did get the pitman arm TIG welded up, so that means all we got left are the chains and the steering tabs on the spindles. Also, make sure you stick around for a week from today. I've got a special video project I've been working on for the better part of about a month. I think you're going to enjoy it. It sort of tips off what to expect in the future of this channel. But guys, I really think you're going to enjoy it. But that will wrap up this episode, so you know how it goes. Until next time, say it with me, peace out.